This task is going to require you to use databases so that you can access newspapers. So from the library's web page, you go to the Information tab and click on Databases. Databases are areas where information is kept. It's curated, which means that someone has looked at it, they have decided on some good quality information to put into the database, and sometimes, such as the ones I'm going to show you today, they are not free to access. To access a school's databases, you need to log in. This particular table shows you that some databases are free, for example Microsoft Academic Search, Australian History, but others have a subscription applied to them, and the one I'm going to show you today is this one here under the General Knowledge tab, the Australian and New Zealand Reference Centre. When you click on the link, you'll need to know the username and also the password, so it might help to write those down before you click on the hyperlink. I have the details saved on my computer so I can log straight in. The database we'll be using today is the one that is called the Australia New Zealand History and Literary Reference Centre via EBSCO. You'll notice that using databases isn't quite as easy as just simply putting something into a search box into one of your search engines such as Google. I have to click again to get to the reference centre. So I've typed in my subscription password, I've then clicked on the database I want and then confirmed it. So that's 3 steps that I've had to make to get to the point where I can now search. I mentioned before that this is really showing you how databases can be very useful for using newspapers or articles from magazines and so on. So it works very much like a normal search engine whereby you just type in a topic. So I'm going to try asylum seekers, and you'll see, like Google, that it will give you some choices. So I'm going to do a basic search on asylum seekers, and I can see that it gets me nearly 80,000 hits. So what you really need to do is to come across here to the left hand side and to narrow down those search terms. For example, you might want to limit your searching to something that has a full text. So that means that you will get something that has a complete article or a complete magazine issue. You can also come down to the source type. So your task might require you to look at an instance of an event which was pertinent only to Australia. So it might help if you clicked on to domestic newspapers, just those ones which came from Australia. If you wish to, you can even search by the particular publication. So if you wanted to, you could find the Australian or the Courier Mail for something local. There's only one choice. All of the articles that I have found, or all of the newspaper articles, are in English, so that doesn't matter. Sometimes it might. So now we have those limiters or filters on our search. It has decreased the number that we are able to see, not by a great deal, only by 15,000. So here's another little bit of filtering that you can do. And this is what we call advanced searching. Perhaps it might be good if you were going to limit what you wanted to find just to articles this year. So you can actually tell what year levels or what time filters, and you can see that that has significantly decreased the number of hits that you will receive. Again, if I filter it, because my time filtering then negated the other two, and if I've now put my publication date and full text and domestic newspapers as filters, you'll see that it's come down to under 1,000. You can get those same filters by going up here to advanced search, and you can do this in Google as well. So here you can put in your terms. You perhaps might want to add some extra terms here. So you could add asylum seekers Australia, and you might want to put in boats. Let's have a look at what that brings back. So with only those 3 words, you get 20,000. Add our full text, not much of a difference. Adding something like domestic newspapers, 16,000. If I wanted then to do a particular type of newspaper, and so on. So if your task requires you to use newspapers, this is a really easy way to find things that are going to be relevant. You can make sure you have full text. If you're not a good reader, you can even listen as compared to reading the article. If you come across to here, you will even see how you are expected to reference. We use Harvard here at St. Paul's, so that is how that particular reference would be cited in your bibliography. Good luck with your searching.